Hey guys, ChouRaven here in a slightly different kind of video this week. My Draft League opponent for the week has kind of dropped out, so I get the win, but I also don't get a match to upload, so we're doing something a little different. For those of you who don't already know, I'm a big fan of tokusatsu, Japanese special effect superhero shows, especially Kamen Rider. I do tool around with Super Sentai and Ultraman, but I don't watch them or enjoy them anywhere near as frequently as I do Kamen Rider. So today, we're going to be doing a tier list of my top Kamen Rider shows past the past the Heisei era, because Showa I've seen a little bit, but I haven't seen any full series, so... Anyways, just getting this started, I'm going to first and foremost take the D ranking and go have not seen, because there are a few of those in this set that I haven't, which is immediately going to move Hibiki and Ryuki up to there. I think that's the only ones I haven't watched out of all of that. So, yeah. Oh, I also haven't seen Blade. I know, a lot of people like it. I'm gonna catch flack for that, but I will. Let's just say that the top tier is God tier. Okay, that's pretty good. Meh. And absolute garbage. I feel like that's a pretty fair ranking system for that. Alright, so starting off, I'm going to go ahead and put Gaim up in God tier. I absolutely love that show. The fruit designs are kind of adorable after you get used to them the first little bit, and the writing in that show is really good. I do enjoy a good Urobuchi story. It's fun watching him clash with Toei's usual child-friendly way of doing things. Aside from that, I'm gonna go and put Kabuto. I do think Kabuto's up in the God tier as well. I don't necessarily think that it's as good as Gaim, but it's definitely up there for me. It's one of my first Rider shows. It's the one that got me into the whole franchise. So I'm just gonna go with that. Where else? Ghost. Absolute garbage. If you have heard any of my opinions on that show, the writing was absolutely terrible. The forms were nice, but the writing and the terrible characters just kind of killed it for me. It just wasn't good. Also in there, I'm gonna take Decade. Okay, so hear me out. Decade's kind of an on and off for me. I think as far as the series goes, I'm gonna have to put it in with absolute garbage. The writing wasn't great. The acting, it's just not a great show, and the designs, I really, really dislike the designs. But overall, it just aggravates me as someone who'd watched most of the shows before that, watching it kind of mess with all of those continuities like that, not show anything that was even remotely related. I just don't like it. Though I do like the power set, and I do like Tsukasa as a character, but the show itself is kind of bad. Moving on, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Kuuga now. I'm going to put him up. It's one of my favorites. I can understand why it wouldn't necessarily be as high as some other shows. I don't feel like putting it in meh, because it was just an thoroughly enjoyable watch. And on that note, I'm going to put Agito up here, but I'm going to put it ahead of Kuuga, because as much as I like Kuuga, Agito definitely had the better storyline. I'm going to also take Fies and throw it up here with Kuuga and everybody. I may dislike the Fies designs, but that was a damn good show. lots of good character development. It was basically all just character development. There wasn't a whole lot going on besides that. So it's just really good. Moving on. CO. I'm gonna put CO in the meh category. I don't... As much as I disliked it for the majority of the show, that final story arc in the series did just kind of bring everything together and made it all just kind of a good watch. And at the end of the day, looking back on it, I can't say I hated it. It was just, I kind of just wanted it to move on and be over. So, meh, it is. Forze, garbage, but was it as bad as Ghost and Decade? I should probably reorganize this tier, too. You know what? I think I'll say it. Forze, I think, was worse than Ghost. Decade, I think, was better, though, so I'll just move him up. Okay, let's see here. What else do we got? Wizard. Wizard was kind of meh, I think. Not... Was it as bad, or was it worse than Zio? Yeah, I think it was worse than Zio, so I'll just leave it there. All in all, the storyline was okay. The character was kind of bland. The characters in general were kind of bland. But that was kind of the point to a certain extent. The storyline kind of was just one thing the whole show. There wasn't much of a story. The villains were interesting, so I think that kind of elevates it for me to meh tier. Drive. Drive is definitely going up in the God tier. Drive was probably one of the better Rider series in the Neo Heisei. Don't think it was quite as good as Gaim, and I think I would rank it under Kabuto, but it's definitely one of the better ones. Moving on... Eva, my second ever Rider show, the first Rider show I ever watched as it was coming out. I really liked it back then, but now looking back on it and ranking it comparatively to everything else, I think it was pretty meh. Wataru himself was kind of bland as all hell. Some of the side characters made it a little better. Forms were pretty cool to look at. I do love me some Emperor form, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of a bland vampire story and just eh. So, top of meh tier, definitely better than Zio. O's. O's. I'm gonna put it in the pretty good. It's definitely better than 5, but do I elevate it higher than Kuuga? You know what? I think I'm gonna put it at the top of pretty good tier. Just, as much as I like Kuuga and Akito, I do think that O's was probably better as a series. Just the dynamic between Ankh and Eiji kind of made the show. So, I'm just gonna leave it there. Dano. Dano is definitely a thing that exists. Definitely, I don't think I didn't like it enough for it to be in the pretty good tier. Definitely better than Wizard and Zio. Is it better than... No, I think... Yeah, it's just... I think putting it in the meh tier, but putting it below Kiva is probably the better way to look at it for me. Just, the characters were fun for the most part. The Imagine were neat. The main character was kind of boring, but you can appreciate the acting ability of that guy when it's him going back and forth between being 4 different characters on a dime. Definitely made the show a little bit, but still not a good enough series. The time travel stuff was confusing a little bit here and there. The rules definitely made more sense than they did in Zio, I'll tell you that, but put them up there. 01. First Kamen Rider series of the Reiwa era. Damn good series. I think I really liked it. I really liked the way it went. The ending was really good. I don't think I'd put it... No, you know what? I'll put it up in God tier, but I don't think it was better than Drive. I think that's where it needs to sit. Characters were great, forms were great, the storyline went amazingly, but I don't think it goes any higher than them. Double. It's just the elephant in the room, and a good friend of mine's favorite Rider series of all time. I don't think I cared for it quite as much as he does, but the detective drama was definitely good to see. It was definitely a welcome change of pace from everything else. I think pretty good is probably the better tier to put this on. I definitely put it above Fies, but I think I liked Kuuga better. So it goes up in the pretty good tier, just above Fies. Build. Build. Really good show. Don't know if I'd put it in the God tier. I think it's better than O's for sure. Pretty good, looks like where I want to put it. A really good show, the storyline was great. The villain was really good. It's just, oh man. But yeah, no, I don't think I'd elevate it to God tier. It's definitely not better than 0-1, so down and pretty good, I think I leave it. X-Aid had its issues. I think it was a better show than some. But do I put it in meh or pretty good? I think it's better than meh. Definitely not a meh series. I definitely was invested in it. They killed my favorite character about 15 episodes in, so I really disliked it for that. But there was a lot of twists and turns and things happening, and the storyline worked out pretty well in the end. And Dan was really good as a villain, and then helped one of the main characters later in. Definitely that guy's acting was a huge plus in the show. Would I rank it above Kuuga? Don't think I'd put... Yeah, I think I'd put it there. In between Kuuga and Double on the pretty good tier. Saber. Last but not least, the current running show. Don't know if I can give it a fair shake because it's not done yet, and it's barely even halfway through at this point. But, where would I put it in all of this? Frankly, I liked the beginning of the show. I think currently, in the middle of the series, it's kind of a mess. There's a lot of stuff, like once Caliber got taken down, it lost a lot of its focus. And now it's just kind of all over the place. I think, for now, I'm gonna have to put it in the meh tier. Is it better than Zio? Definitely. Is it better than Deno? I'd say so. Was it better than Kiva? No. Alright. So that's my tier list. Thank you guys for watching through the video this far. If you like listening to me talk about Toku stuff, you can check out the podcast I'm part of, Radio Sentai Cast Ranger, where me and the other Ixie Studios guys all sit and chat about Kamen Rider Super Sentai, and a third thing that's usually on a week-to-week basis. So thank you very much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!